So I bought the Fuji X100V back in April, I believe, of this year. So it's been about 6 months with this camera. So I thought it was about time to come on here and just give my honest review about the camera and really answer the question that a lot of people may have, including myself before I bought the camera. Is it worth overpaying for? Brand new retail price for this camera is about $13.99. Now you can't buy this camera brand new from Fujifilm anymore. So the only way to get this camera and get your hands on one is to buy it used, secondhand, MPB, eBay, B&H. Now all in, I spent about $16.50 on this camera. So I spent about well over the used price. So I really just wanted to come on here and give my honest review, answer the question, is it worth overpaying for? Talk about pros and cons of the camera, and really just answer the buzz. Is it really worth the hype? So let's get into it. All right, so reason number one why I would recommend this camera is really just for its size and weight and portability. This camera is very small, very tiny, compact camera. I believe it only weighs about 450 grams. So it's a camera that you really do not feel like you're carrying around. As cliche as it sounds, it really is just an everyday camera that you can take on small walks in your neighborhood. I have taken this camera down in Chicago. And speaking of that, at the end of this video, I do have a POV down in Chicago where I just take this camera down there and just strictly shoot on the X100V. So if you want to see that, you can skip this part, and I'll put this timestamp up on the screen for you guys. But really, it is a very small camera, and it's a very comfortable camera to hold, surprisingly. Now I do have largish hands, so I cannot get a full grip on the camera. So my bottom two fingers do hang off, but that is expected. But I do have a small rig thumb grip that does allow for extra grip on the top side there. But if you do not have the grip, it's not a deal breaker. You're making a sacrifice by carrying around a small compact camera that's very lightweight, very comfortable to hold. Now reason number two why I would recommend this camera is that fixed focal length. At 23 millimeters, that is a 35 millimeter equivalent on full frame cameras. Now I believe I am one to always go down to Chicago typically and shoot on prime lenses. I do have a 16-35 from Sony, the GM version. I will take that out here and there to get some wide shots, but I believe strictly shooting on a prime lens on a one fixed focal length will really make you a better photographer, because it gives you creative constraints. It kind of, especially on street photography where there's a lot going on. There's people, there's noises, there's cars, taxis, buses. There's so much you can shoot. So if you can eliminate one variable, take out, if you have a zoom lens, for example, okay, 24-70, that is a very popular and very versatile zoom lens that can check a lot of boxes and get you a lot of different type of perspectives and shots. However, you do not have to move your body to get into position. You can kind of just stand in one spot sometimes and just zoom in. It's not a bad thing. If you want to get a shot, you just got to get the shot sometimes. But however, the more you shoot, to realize those creative constraints will make you a better photographer. So like I said, reason number two why I would recommend this camera is just for that fixed focal length at 23 millimeters or 35 millimeter equivalent. So reason number three, or another pro I would say to this camera, are really just the straight out of camera raw files. I am not the type of person that uses the JPEGs or recipes on this camera. I should probably experiment more with them because I hear really good things about them, but I like sitting down and editing a picture in Lightroom. So raw files will give you the most latitude and dynamic range out of an image. But I cannot stress enough how this camera performs straight out of camera without any editing. I'm gonna throw up a couple pictures on the screen so you guys can look at the, these were a couple images that I shot. One was taken from a plane leaving New York back in April, and one was just at my place shooting my dog. So these are no editing, straight out of camera files. Now I don't have a comparison, I guess, what I'm, on a Sony camera, how those would look straight out of camera. However, it's really not necessary. It's just this final look that you can get in camera raw file is really, really impressive. And it really just makes you want to take it out wherever you go. So before we hop into the POV, I just kind of want to give my final thoughts on the camera and let you guys decide for yourself if you think it's a camera worth investing in. I think I said it earlier that this camera has made me a better photographer, just for the simple reasons that I give. For the fact that it's compact and portable, that means that it's a camera that I want to take with me. I don't feel like I have to dread packing my A7 IV for its weight, 3 lenses with me. This is a fixed lens, compact APS-C sensor camera that I want to pick up and take with me. Secondly, it's a camera that you can get great image straight out of camera. The raw files are excellent. As I said earlier, there's minimal editing that needs to be done. And if you're not familiar with Lightroom, these editing softwares, you can just use the JPEG recipes. They are great straight out of camera. Like I said, I've never really dipped my feet in those. I plan to in the future, just kind of test it and experiment with them. But this camera is really tailored to people who do, beginners, amateurs. And then the other reasons, like I said, were just that fixed lens 23 millimeter equivalent, which gives you those creative constraints. When you do not have to decide about which lenses to bring with you, what focal length to shoot, it really opens up creativity and gets you experimenting with new compositions and forces you to move into position to get that shot that you want to get. This is just a great camera to take with you and document your life with. Everything. At the end of the day, I believe that's what photography is really most importantly about. It's just really documenting day-to-day life, especially in street photography too, where those moments are really precious and timing is very crucial. At the end of the day, you just got to get that shot. So that kind of concludes my thoughts about this camera. I hope that kind of clears up some questions that you guys have if you're on the fence about buying one in 2025, 2020, going into 2026. I hope that helps. Like I said, you can't get this camera brand new from Fujifilm anymore. You can get it on eBay, B&H, no, not B&H, I think MPB or KEH sell it used. It is above the retail price, but I do not regret my decision buying this camera. So I hope that helps. Let's hop into the POV here. Down in Chicago, I used the X100V. Toward the end of the video, I actually switched to the Sony A7 IV and used the Sigma 85 1.4 because for its low light capabilities, because there was a festival, I think it was called the Arts in the Dark Festival, going down State Street by the Chicago Theater. So that was a really cool festival to capture on that lens. Super great. That lens is awesome to isolate your subject. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment. Subscribe doesn't cost you guys anything, but it just helps out the channel tremendously. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.
I mean, this is just so nice. Try to get another one here. It's waiting game for this train.